What's up? How you doing out there? Thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it so much. Yes, I do. Thank you, new viewers, returning viewers, and you subscribers. I appreciate you taking this journey with me. Now, of course, I've been talking about R&B divas, and we will continue to talk about R&B divas. Yes, we will. However, there's been something that has always continued to just kind of like be perplexing to me, and I can't figure it out. So I need your help. I do. And what I need your help with is helping me to understand what was happening in 1991. Like for me, a music lover, I kid you not, a music lover, like I totally passed by 1991 and it's like a year that never happened, right? I mean, seriously, like with 1990, I mean, I get it. I get the feel, the music, the artists, all of that. 1990, I understand it. And to me, it looks like 1988 through 1990, music was sounding a certain way. And I know for those of you, you probably say, oh, that's because of Teddy Riley, New Jack Swing, so on and so forth. Maybe that's what it is. I'll let you have it. Like, that's not pretty much where I'm going with this anyway. But if that's the case, right, remember what I told you guys in a previous video about MCA Records and how I just felt like there was a lot of things that were going on at MCA Records. And there's a guy by the name of Lewell Silas Jr. You know, he's like this executive over there. And I brought him up in the Pebbles video I've done. I brought him up in the Angela Wimbush video I did. I brought Lewell Silas Jr. up in the Bernadette Cooper and Joyce Cinderella Irby video that I did. So I can't think of another, how can I say it, record company, I guess, or an executive that was pretty much cranking out, producing a lot of music that seemed to have, depending on who you ask, who you talk to, the impact that it made. Like, to me, MCA Records was really on it. And where I'm going with this is that I'm thinking about that particular executive, Lewell Silas Jr., who's no longer with us, by the way. And I'm thinking about, just follow with me. You have Pebbles on MCA Records. You have Bobby Brown on MCA Records. You have, I didn't think about that, Jody Watley on MCA Records. Who's over there? Patti LaBelle, Gladys Knight, Stephanie Mills is over there. Remember I told you that Angela Wimbush had a production deal with MCA and Atlantic Records. Oh, who else is over there? Of course, New Edition is on MCA Records. There's a group, Body, on MCA Records. Oh gosh, who else is on MCA Records? Bernadette Cooper is on MCA Records. I'm thinking because I just didn't come out with a list of people. There were other artists on MCA Records as well. Like, you know, they made an impact or so on and so forth. But there was something going on over at MCA Records during this time. And when Lewell Silas Jr. left, it seemed like those artists dropped the ball. Ooh, Andre Herrera, right? So okay, I think I'm going too fast. I think I jumped up a year or two. Andre Herrera could have been making his way towards, I guess, MCA Records at the time. But where I'm going with this is that, okay, so there was some artists that was dropped off MCA Record, right? And to me, it looked like MCA Records was probably the record company that was producing out a lot of artists. I'm thinking, you guys, just follow with me. That's why I need your help. So leave some comments for sure, because I'm going somewhere. You don't want to miss this because I'm talking about the year 1991. But it seemed to me that 1991 is kind of like a year that, do you really know these artists? in 1991? Like, I know you know them because you can remember their hits, but do you really like I'm thinking of a couple of things. I'm thinking about the sound, right? That's what I was talking about from 1988 to 1990. Okay, you can say it's the New Jack Swing era, right? But is 1991 the year in which everything just kind of like just nobody, no one was guiding the year 1991 in music? It just seemed like the sound just went lacking. The artists went lacking. What else I want to say? There was just no direction, even though we had some memorable hits. Like this guy. Let me hold on, y'all, because let me see how this works. Like this guy, the first guy, Shabba Ranks, right? Y'all remember Shabba Ranks back in the day, right? You know, Mr. Loverman. The guy in the middle, Jeff Redd, Uptown MCA, right? The guy who is supposedly the one who discovered Mary J. Blige or so on and so forth, or helped her get the record deal. That's what the story says. Then the lady at the end, the diva at the end, Tara Kemp. So, hold on, I'm trying to go somewhere with this. So we have Shabba Ranks, Mr. Loverman, great song, right? You have Jeff Redd. I know you had a song called You Called and Told Me. I Found Loving. That's it. I Found Loving. Then you have Tara Kemp, Just Want to Hold You. All right. I kind of chose these artists for a reason. Okay. Now follow with me. Okay. Because I'm going to take you down a road where I'm going to start talking to you guys about artists and songs that were out at this time. And for me, I have these songs. They're good songs. They're the artists, but it seems like 1991 just fades to me. Like it's kind of like, you see what I'm saying? So let's talk, because I can't figure out what to call 1991. So in 1991, of course, you have Christopher Williams. He has a song out called I'm Dreaming, which will be on the New Jack Swing soundtrack. Then you have Mariah Carey with Emotions. You have Boyz II Men, Motown Philly, Karen White, Romantic, Heavy D, Now That We Found Love, The Sounds of Blackness, Optimistic. Ooh, love Optimistic. Oh my gosh, like when the Sounds of Blackness showed up. I don't know. Oh gosh. I might need to talk about Sounds of Blackness one day. Color Me Bad. It's kind of like you remember them, but like, where are they? Do you see what I'm saying? And of course, I kind of know the story of Color Me Bad, but it's what it is. Then you think about Jodeci, you know, Forever My Lady. And what's the other one? Can We Talk? You know, Come and Talk to Me. That's it. Come and Talk to Me. So you have Jodeci. You have Vanessa Williams, right? You have, well, I already mentioned Tara Kemp. You have Lisa and Cut Jam, Let the Beat Hit Them. You have Keith Sweat out with Keep It Coming. Think about these songs as I'm saying them to you. You have Mint Condition with Breaking My Heart, Pretty Brown Eyes. Luther Vandross, you already know how I talked about Luther Vandross in the video, where Luther Vandross, you know, is going more towards a pop sound. And he's really going towards the Grammys. Excuse me. Sorry. He's trying to get that Grammy. Then you have Lisa Fisher, who's out. You remember? Big hit, record companies like We Don't Know What to Do With You. And I'm wondering, is that what happened in 1991? You know, could it be that the Lisa Fisher, you know, I Don't Know What to Do With You, image that she won a Grammy. She had the #1 R&B hit, right? You remember I just talked about BNGB in 1991. Like 1991, just a weird year for me in music. You have Color Me Bad, Another Bad Creation, Playground, right? You remember the group Riff, who was in the movie Lean On Me, singing East Side High? Riff was out. You have People Bryson was out. Gerald Levert, but he continued though. So Gerald Levert might be someone who is just, just was coming through, through his career, and he's just so happy to release an album in 1991. And now that I think about 1991, Lisa Fisher came out in 1991. That means Patti LaBelle came out in 1991 because, they shared the Grammy together, for, was it Best Album maybe? But anyway, Best R&B Album, female, could have been. So Patti LaBelle comes out in 1991. Decent record in 1991 for her. I have it. Keith Sweat, Damian Dame, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, Lenny Kravitz, Freddie Jackson was out, wasn't he, in 1991? Some of these artists who I'm mentioning probably released music in 1990, but they ended up in 1991, of course, because of their album. So I won't talk too much more about them. High Five. When did High Five come out, you guys? High Five was 1991, wasn't it? When was their first record? Did they? No, because I get confused. I never really follow High Five. I'm going to say High Five was 1990. I'm not going to say High Five was 1991. Right? But anyway, do you get what I'm saying? Like, so after artists released music in 1990. Okay. Yeah, after artists released music in 1990. The artists that I just named, think about it. It's almost like, to me, I remember more of the artists in 1992, 1993, 1994, and 1995 more than I remember any other artists. Like, these artists I mentioned, you kind of scratch your head like, oh, yeah, I forgot about them. But that's the way I feel about the whole year. It's like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that year in music. Who else? I just realized Jennifer Holliday. Oh, gosh, I talked a little bit about Jennifer Holliday. Oh, my gosh, I need to talk about that diva in another video. Put that in your head. Jennifer Holliday. Okay, so Jennifer Holliday released an album in 1991. I'm on Your Side. Oh my gosh, yeah, that record was a good record. Did I talk about Jennifer Holliday? I think I'm gonna talk about her next video. I don't know, I just feel like I want to talk about her. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's just a weird year. What do you call that year in 1991 when it relates to music? Because isn't after the New Jack Swing era comes to an end, then we go into this hip hop era? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe this is the making of that year. What we would consider to be hip hop. And it was just tweaked a little bit, the sound. That's interesting, y'all. I don't know. It just bothers me, you guys, and I just don't know why 1991 in music bothers me. It's like a year that you just don't really and truly think about. You just don't think about it. You don't think about it. I give you a prime example. Here's a prime example. So let's just say, when did R. Kelly come out? When did R. Kelly come out? Did R. Kelly come out in 1990? Did R. Kelly come out in 1991? I can't remember. Y'all just hold on for a minute. When did that man release his first record? It definitely wasn't 1990. I know that much. It don't feel like 1992. It just don't. No, it wasn't 1992. R. Kelly had to come out in 1991. He did, because I'm just thinking about that year and what was going on for me in that year. Right? 1990. He had to come out in 1991. R. Kelly's 1991. He got to be. I just can't. It's not. He came. He had to release his record in 1991, right? Or his first singles was in the latter part of 1991. Because I'm sorry, I don't want to stay on that too long because I just drew a blank. So R. Kelly comes out. That might be interesting. Because while I think the music of 1991 had a punch, the music of 1991, it didn't have that long-lasting punch. And someone like I said, a Gerald Levert, who just coming through that year, just so happened to land on that year of releasing, Patti LaBelle, who just so happened to come through that year and land on that year and, releasing music. I'm thinking about Jeff Redd and these artists' sound, and so then, is it safe to say that the artists of 1991 laid the foundation for what we were going to hear, and they just haven't gotten their credit or their due? I'm talking about the artists, like all of them. Am I on to something? I'm just saying, y'all. Like, this just don't make sense. I mean, just tell me what you think about the year 1991. Because now what I want to do in my head, I'm thinking about 1992. And as I said, when I think about 1992, think about what that year is like, okay? Really. Think about what that year is like, because you remember what I told you. What I told you was, in 1990, we had that En Vogue phenomenon. I mean, for girl groups. So there are no... I think I'm answering my question. Think about it. In 1990, there are no girl groups after En Vogue for the most part, except for Ex-Girlfriend in 1991. Remember, I talked about Ex-Girlfriend and compared to, Ex-Girlfriend versus En Vogue, right? And how Ex-Girlfriend lost miserably. And they lost because they copied too much of En Vogue, then tried to have their own style. And people were like, we like you. The Ex-Girlfriend album to me is very good, but we got lost in that confusion. And then all of a sudden, all of these groups started to emerge that mimicked themselves after En Vogue from a vocal standpoint. That's all it was. The guy had that. See, En Vogue came along and said they have to look good, but most importantly, they have to sing. So now we have these groups really and truly focusing on singing, right? So then we have our girl groups coming out, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, I think Ooh on the TLC tip came out in March. No, it came out in February. And En Vogue, my Funky Divas came out in March, right? Think about the sounds of those two albums and think about their sound in 1991. So then in 1992, guess what's happening? And I know a lot of people are probably saying to yourself, okay, what you're doing is nothing really, like totally out the box, but I'm trying to figure out that year. And you have, of course, In Vogue is out in 1992. TLC, you got Jade, Tony Braxton emerges in 1992. Oh my gosh. Then you got, of course, Sylvia Rhone, right? It's all over the place with, her ex. You have CeCe Peniston come out. You have Chris Cross out. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. That's the year of the Bodyguard soundtrack too, isn't it? Got to be. Got to be. Shanice is out. Yeah. I don't know. It's such a shame. I guess what I'm trying to say is it's such a shame that we really and truly don't give the artists of 1991 their respect and their just due. I really truly do. Like, that year is totally lost in music, and it's sad to think that it happened. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people probably saying no, but that's just me, saying. And I'm talking about, and listen to what I'm saying. I want y'all to understand where I'm going with this. I'm not talking about the artists of 1990 who released records in 1991, singles, right? I'm not talking about them because, of course, they're going into 1991. I'm talking about the artists who came out in 1991. You go like, I don't know them like that. They're great. They're wonderful hits. When you play them, you're like, oh man, I remember that. That was my jam. Like, 1991 is the year where it's like you have the one hit wonders, and then you have 1991. Like, 1991 to me is definitely an entire year of one hit wonders almost. Like, you don't even see these artists on the scene. Do you get where I'm going? That's where I'm going. Like, you know nothing about them for the most part. Like, they're almost kind of like non-existent. They're not around. And maybe it's the way I'm looking at it. Tell me what you think. I could be wrong. But it's not a year that I'm just really and truly feeling. When did CNC Music Factory come out? CNC Music Factory. 1992 or 1993? CNC Music Factory. Think. CNC Music Factory. CNC Music Factory. CNC Music Factory. 1990. I'm not quite sure. CNC Music Factory. Not quite sure. 1990. Oh. Oh, so they did come out in 1990. I had to look and see because I didn't know. Well, anyway, I just wanted to bring up the year 1991 just to kind of get that out because it's still like a lost year to me. But anyway, so tell me what you think. What do you think about the artists in 1991, just overall in general? Like, is it really a lost year in music? Or it was your favorite year and you still play these songs and you still, you know, follow these artists like they're definitely performing, so on and so forth. I just feel like the whole entire year of 1991 musically just lacked guidance. But on that note, it is what it is. I think I want to do a Jennifer Holiday video. So we're going to do a video, Jennifer Holiday video. I don't know why. I just feel like doing it. Anywho, all right. So on that note, you already know what I'm going to say. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your love, for your support and all of that. I really truly do appreciate it. And don't forget to put your behind where your heart desires to be. That's what we believe over here. We also say, whenever I leave my mother's presence, she always says to me, baby, remember, I love you, but God love you best. Make sure you tell people that you love them. Tell them that you love them. Pray for them. Yes, Lord. And I look forward to seeing you next video. And until then,